not bust up. See? Oh, don't want to show you that.
Keep your chicken to yourself.
Don't be flashing your chicken.
Okay. Okay. So tonight we're gonna obviously we'll cover any questions we have at Gut Protocol to, after we talk about this main segment, and any questions about any other programs. And we'll probably talk squash again, since that is a fun topic for this time of year. But we're gonna start out with, there's a show, I don't know what you call it, a live. There's just like a visual podcast that Beachbody's now doing, and it's called Nutrition Mission. And so each week they're taking a new topic and diving into it to explore how it works with nutrition. And this week was all about the menstrual cycle and really tying in your nutrition with your menstrual cycle. And unfortunately, they did not go into anything with perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. So those are all things we will, we can continue to talk about on another time. I'm currently reading a book about all of that called Next Level by Stacy Sims. And we've talked a little bit about it in the past, but as I finish this book, we'll come back to it again for sure, because I know a lot of us are in different phases. So we're really just going to talk about the basics. Most of this you'll be able to put in through perimenopause for sure. And it's that post-menopause that I need to read up on a little bit more. So I don't want to say anything on that just yet tonight, just because I don't want to give you wrong information. So, but these nutrition mission sessions are on just the regular Beachbody Facebook page. I did put it in the Gut Protocol chat, and I'd highly recommend, just kind of checking it out, and also checking out some of their other categories, some of the other, topics they've had. It's our head of research and development, I think, is what Emily's title, Dr. Emily's title is. But she is in charge of, making sure that the nutritional value is in all of our supplements, that we're choosing things that benefit us, going through all the studies, and really just making sure that our product meets and exceeds our standards. So, along this whole, she goes in and talks about the different phases. And for tonight's purposes, we'll just talk about low and high hormone phases. So when you are starting your period, that means you're going into a high hormone phase, and it starts because, is that right? No, low hormone phase. I'm sorry, I said it opposite. When you're starting your period, you're going into your low hormone phase because that starts your period. The thing I've read before too in the Stacy Sims book, Roar, that I thought was really awesome. And I think about this often monthly when I'm working out and it's the start of my period. I think a lot of times as women, we're kind of like, oh, I'm just going to kind of take it easy because I'm having my period, right? But this is actually the best time for you to build muscle and to have muscle gains and strength gains. So it's kind of a mental shift, right? Like, what if you think about that week of your period as your time to really kill it? Right? Because the joke in our house is, something that bleeds that much and doesn't die, it's really strong, right? So it's one of those things where you can turn it and think about it in a way that, let's try to go heavier today. Let's see what I can do, regardless of how my body's feeling. Right. And I find most of the time when I do that, I feel pretty great with the workouts. It's not like I feel more tired or I have any different symptoms. It's just, I feel strong in the workout. And the reason being, you're in the low hormone phase. So you don't have the hormones kind of acting against your ability to gain muscle, to keep muscle during this time. And this is roughly a couple weeks, right? Because it roughly goes from the start of your period to the start of ovulation. And then starting ovulation until your next period is the high hormone phase. So this is the phase where your body's like, "Phew, we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot going on. Things are happening, and your workouts may not feel so great. You may have a higher heart rate during your workout. You may just feel a little more sluggish. You may not feel as strong. It may feel like your legs are running through peanut butter, right? Like things are just not as great. And so what's fascinating now is our shift to body. And now we're going to have these body blocks. Well, these body blocks fit amazingly well into our menstrual phases, because you can have these weeks of strength training, of tough workouts. And then every month you have a week where you're in like a deload week. You can do yoga, you can do stretching, you can, just kind of give your body a break. And if you're lining that up with your high and low phases, it can feel really good for you, right? And so I don't know if maybe they probably intentionally thought about it. I have no idea. I don't know how much went into that, but it really does coincide very well. And along with other studies that show you make more progress when you have these little temporary breaks between hard things. And so there's a lot going with it, with our rhythms, with how we operate, and as women, our menstrual cycle. So I thought that was pretty fascinating too. So Emily talks about, just there are going to be times in that high hormone phase where you're logging in and this is your workout, but it doesn't feel great. And that's a time when maybe you consider something a little lighter, lower impact, whatever shift feels a little better for that time. You're still moving your body, you're still helping yourself. But it's also a show of self-care, right? To just be like, this is kind of where I'm at today. So something to consider as you're, picking your workouts, depending on what phase you're in and how that's going. Does anybody have any questions about that part before we get into the nutrition side of things? Hey, Lily. Any thoughts on that piece?
I never really noticed that big of a difference, I guess. I always feel better when I work out. So even if I'm like not feeling good, because of that time of month, I go ahead anyway, because I know that I'm going to feel better. But it's very interesting. I'll have to like make note to pay more attention, I guess. Over the years, I've just learned to like deal with,
you just do it no matter what.
Do it. There are some situations where it is debilitating, but for me, I've just always pushed through and, done it. So no, it's good things to think about.
Yeah.
I think I noticed it most with my heart rate with cardio style workouts, like especially Sean T's workouts. When I was doing his programs, there would just be certain times where when I would be consistently tracking my heart rate would like skyrocket. And I'm like, I am not feeling like, I feel like I'm like dogging my workout and my heart rate is going insane. And I just I didn't correlate the two. And now it really makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Like how that is.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that I notice it per strength training. It was more like the endurance, how long I could really put forth a good effort.
It was funny because Emily references a Jared Scalar workout and she calls it Scalardi Party or something like that. And so it was just kind of funny because a bunch of us did Jared's workout this morning and I felt really great through it. And my heart rate wasn't quite as high, even though I felt like I was working as hard. So it's interesting because I am in a low hormone phase right now. But it would be fascinating now to do it in a couple weeks, to do another Jared style workout or do that same workout and just see what's different, how different I feel.
Yeah.
So the next piece that, like, what do we do nutrition wise, right? Like, how does this change how you look at your nutrition? So when you're in that low hormone phase, carbs become king, that you're burning through them easily. You are, your body is looking for more carbs. That can explain some of our cravings a bit during your period and just how you're feeling, right? So again, as we all use these nutrition plans, we want good carbs, right? We want, and I don't mean to say I'm good, but we want fiber filled, we want complex carbs, we want carbs that benefit us with nutrition. We're not talking, just going and grabbing a slice of white bread and, having that for dinner. So carbs that have more nutritional value. And then as you get into this high hormone phase, your body is actually burning more calories. She estimated 5 to 10%, which on the average person is 100 to 200 calories. That's almost a bracket. And then it becomes protein is king. And the thing I thought was interesting too, that I hadn't really correlated, is during this time when protein is what your body really needs, your recovery is also not as good during a high hormone phase. So maybe you have a hard workout, you may be more tired later, you may have, be more sore. And so again, protein is going to be important to then help with recovery. But it's also was interesting that, you're not recovering as well during those times too. So something to think about, or note as you're going through, if you start tracking. And so the big thing she talked about in protein, and I see a lot of numbers get thrown around. I always use grams to kilograms because that's just what NASM did. And that's kind of what's in my head, but there's, so we'll do a little math here together. So basically she says 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. Okay. So it would be your body weight, divided by 2.2. That's your body weight in kilograms. And then you take that times 1.6. So this is kind of your base protein, right? This is a really good level. This is highly encouraged in NASM with, just a strength training level. And if we want to do some more math after we're done here, I kind of am curious exactly where Autumn puts us with reds and things like that. So we can go into that in a second. So what she talks about in this high hormone phase is that you may even want to go up to that 2.0 grams per kilogram. So when you're doing your math, where's everybody ending up on how many grams of protein they would need?
What did you say it was again? 1 point.
So you would take your weight times divided by 2.2. Oh, hang on, my calculator's not working. That gives you your weight in kilograms. Then times 1.6 is her base. This is where you for sure want to be, but if you're feeling some extra symptoms, then you want to kick that up to a 2. Okay. So that puts me at 120 grams of protein. And if you consider your reds are between 12 and 20 roughly grams of protein. So I have 5 in a day. So that puts me at 100. And my number is at 1.6. Okay. So this is my baseline. So, and it's funny because I have been adding in Recover even on times when I'm not weight training. And I do notice a difference with how I don't really know how to describe it. When I wake up in the morning, if I've had recharge, I feel like I'm hungry and ready for breakfast. Like I don't feel like I'm over full, but I feel like I used up what I needed from whatever protein I took at night. So I'm actually planning to, once my recharge is gone, I think I only have 1 scoop left, which I'm totally sad about because I love it. I'm going to start with Recover at night. So if you are doing your 5, like I'm on B. So if you're doing your 5 reds and you do 1 scoop of Recover, then that you're going to hit that 120, or I would hit my target. And then if I did 1 more scoop, then I'm going to hit that higher target, right, in my high hormone phase. Or if you added in another protein. Is that making sense for everybody? This is some fun math.
Yeah,
do.
that makes sense.
But it's that's where, you know, I mean, there's a lot of talk about high protein and things like that. And I personally think there's some things that are too high. I think we get a little like, if you consider too, you know, I'm talking in just reds right now, right? But broccoli has protein. That's in a green. So the food choices we have that we choose because of Portion Fix, Gut Protocol, and To Be Mindset, we are choosing nutritious foods that also carry protein and things. Like if you're, you know, if you're on a regular Portion Fix and you're having beans for your yellow, you're getting in more protein, right? So consider all of those things coming together also in this number. So I guess over all of this, I think we've just learned that if you're just on a regular Portion Fix plan or Gut Protocol, you're getting enough protein. Don't skip your reds.
Well, and she also talked about how she personally in that phase, like it's even more important for you to get that protein within the window after your workout. Didn't she say something about that?
She did. She talked about before and after. She likes to make sure she's got some protein in that hour before she works out. Not like immediate, right? But yes, she said absolutely in that recover after is very important.
Yeah, and she does.
It feeds more than just your muscle. It's helping with the hormone change.
And that's time nutrition. You would have some protein before and some protein after.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she said, yeah, I think she said like 20 minutes before, at least 20 minutes before.
I think it has to be even a little longer than that because the Trevor was saying on there, he was like, yeah, they made it sound like you want to be like an hour to 45 minutes before so that your body, it's like being ingested and then, but after it's within that 30-minute window. Yeah.
But that is during the, which phase? That was during
high hormone. So ovulation,
okay.
2-year period. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
The luteal phase. We can use I don't remember the name of that F1.
What would you follicular.
Follicular?
Yeah, follicular.
Okay.
What was she saying about the amount of protein you needed when you were on during your cycle? That wasn't she saying that you used a different formula?
You don't. It's just carbs are king when you are actually on your period. So your body's looking for more carbs and burning more carbs, whereas your body's needs more protein and burning more calories in the luteal phase, in the high hormone phase.
Oh, okay, I thought she said 2.0 is
that's for luteal. That's for the high hormone phase. You could go between 1.6 is like your base, and then 2 in that high hormone phase.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So let me see how many grams different that is. 75. Okay, so for me, that's 30 grams more of protein.
Huh.
So yeah, I mean, and the whole call, like I just listened to most of it again. I didn't get a chance to finish it all, but it's definitely one to go back to, or just, you know, if you have a client that is struggling with how this kind of works or what the phases look like, this is a great reference, and to just send them this information, because I think she did a really great job of just explaining it basically, and didn't get too in depth where you're like, because there's so much more in these, really you're on like a different phase each week, and you know, probably about each day of your month. That's why a lot of trainers also talk about it, like if, let's say you're weighing yourself every day, you wouldn't compare, you know, each week on a Monday. You would compare each Monday of that same month a month later, right? That's the comparison you're doing, because your weight fluctuates in so many different ways with hormones. And so it's like to compare apples to apples, it's got to be like day 10, or something like that, you know, where you're comparing the same phases you're in. All right. Any questions with any of that? Anything that we should dive into further that,
And how does that, you said they didn't really go into perimenopause or
they
menopause at
didn't,
all.
she was only doing,
And I'm sure it's because it's challenging to know what day you're on if your periods aren't
right, if you're not
or
regular.
regular like they used to be. You know, they're going to start,
Yeah.
they start getting way irregular. So you have no idea what phase you're in, if you're ovulating or not. I mean, you can always tell after, but you
Right.
know, there's so much in flux that I don't know. It's probably not as easy or cut and dry.
And you
to
may, yeah,
determine.
she talks about wearables, right? And so you like her Aura ring tracks temperature, and like my Apple Watch now tracks temperature. Plus you can, I've been tracking my period to see, you know, because I want to see what it says. So I think if you're doing that for you personally, you'd have a pretty good idea of when you're low or high hormone.
Right. Yeah.
But it'll
Yeah.
take a little effort
It
for
takes
sure.
more. Yeah. It takes more work. Yeah.
Yeah. More tracking, because that's what we all love. But you know, and hopefully they'll, I don't know, it'd be great if they did go into, I mean, the ideas are the same, right? That if you're around that high hormonal time, then more protein is going to help. And if you're in that low time, it's kind of like you're pushing through. She didn't, it's not like she said eat more carbs. She's just like, it's going to use more carbs, right? So if we're eating according to plan, you're getting enough percentage of everything you need through this. And I kind of took it as, you know, during that high hormone phase, if I'm on a regular portion fix or gut protocol plan, I'm at the baseline, but maybe I add in a recover to just step it up.
Yeah, because you want to watch your calorie count too. I mean, I know we're not counting calories, but you want to be careful
Right.
there because you're going to be adding, if you're adding more protein, you're adding calories and
Right. And you want it to be calories that are well used, right? So that it's beneficial, not, you know, a cupcake at the end of the day.
But
All
it
right,
does
good.
make sense as to why we usually go for more like processed carbs. Like that's what we reach for, like around our period, you know, because those in our, it's our bodies view those simple carbohydrates as a quick way to get that, what you get from the complex carbs over a duration of time. So
Yeah.
your body searches, like sees, sometimes we'll see that. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. It's very interesting.
It is. It is. We're fascinating creatures, and thank goodness they're starting to study women instead of just considering us small men. It's totally annoying. It was funny too, because Dr. Emily actually addressed that in the beginning of the call. She's like, forever, they didn't study women because we're more complex. We have hormonal changes, and the hormonal changes can throw off the studies, right? So then it's not as simple. And so then we don't get studied. We can go into that talk another time when I'm on my soapbox. All right, so let's switch over to gut protocol. How's everybody doing? And do we have, I don't think we had any questions in the chat that I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of activity at all today.
Well, I see my client Izzy on here. I don't know if Izzy had any questions. I don't know if she just popped on because Izzy, do you have any questions? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I also didn't want to leave you like not feeling like you didn't get a chance.
No, I don't have any questions. I just hopped on because I remembered this week.
Yay! Well, we're happy you're here.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Awesome.
Well, I think I mean, it seems like everybody's kind of rolling along. They're either rolling along or maybe stopped. And not. Do you have to go?
I gotta
Lily?
leave.
Oh,
Yeah,
here,
I gotta
let's
go.
take your picture.
Oh, okay.
Ready? This is how we all feel. All right. See you later.
Bye.
I don't, oh yeah, it seems like everybody's kind of rolling with it and, or just not doing it, right? Which is, things happen, totally fine too. It does feel like, I don't even know what round I would call this for myself, but it felt so easy to get back into it. And like, so, almost comforting. Like, I just feel good eating like this, and I'm really enjoying it again. And I think what I will do is stay with it. I'm on a maintenance, so I get to have a little more recover, and I've been having the mint Beachbody bars because they're amazing. And
Are they good? I haven't even ordered
Oh.
them.
I like it was, and even Luke likes them, and Luke doesn't like anything. And he's already gone through almost the whole box. I got to order another box. He takes them to school, and then he takes one for his friend. And so I'm down 2 bars a day just right there. But yeah, like today I was like, oh, I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh, that looks so good. And I didn't have my recovery today, so I'm going to have it. And I think it's a little less, maybe I think the other ones were like 6 grams of sugar. This one's 4.
Is it 4?
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty awesome, honestly, and as good as it tastes. I'm all in. I mean, must like Thin Mints. That's all I'm saying. Must, that's like, that is what it tastes like. A crumbled up Girl Scout cookie.
So is anyone thinking of doing gut protocol with Healthy Obsession?
Oh, that's what I was just going to say. I am going to do it with lifting.
I was going to ask you.
I am going to keep going, and I'm going to mix hammer with Healthy Obsession. So on my chisel days, I will do a Healthy Obsession workout. Because I kind of want to do both, right? I want to keep in this heavy lifting. And so, yeah. So I'm going to try it.
Yeah, she recommended it, I think, on our live, that definitely consider gut protocol nutrition with time nutrition.
Yeah. And think of all the containers you'll get. My goodness, because it'll be an hour long. So you'll be at extremely, what's it called? Not moderate. It's extremely.
It's zones now, zone 3.
Oh, right. That's right.
Over to zones. Yeah, I know, but it used to be not extreme.
Extremely challenging, isn't it?
Yeah,
Extremely
I think
challenging?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. It was some kind of funny word. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be some serious containers. Yeah, I'm really looking. I think that'll be a fun add-in, especially as popular as 80-Day Obsession was. All right. Well, do we have anything we want to just chat about?
I'm tired tonight, so
It's kind of quiet.
yeah, ready to go to bed.
Yeah, Lily usually has our labels, and
Oh, yeah,
so,
she did have one today too. She was telling me about it this morning. What the heck was it?
oh, shoot.
I can't remember what it was. We already talked about this. Oh, it was like some kind of, I don't know, it said keto on the label, and that's where I blanked out. But it was some kind of like a keto muffin or something. It's
Did she
funny
buy
when I go through the store, it's like if it says keto, I just don't even give it a chance. I'm pretty biased at this point.
Well, if it's a baked good and it says keto, I'm definitely not going to bother looking.
Right? It's
Like, what science project is in that muffin?
Exactly. What kind of science project is this? No thanks. All right. Well, then we can just wrap up and make it a quick call.
Yeah. That's good. I'm making dinner, so
Good.
then
Yeah.
nonstop.
There you go. Go have dinner. I'm
I
going to
gotta go
bed.
down and make a bunch of vegetables and try to get through this garden fiasco.
What are you going to do with it all?
I wish I
Well,
could take it from you.
The squash will be fine, right? Like for months. The tomatoes, I need to try one and just see where they're at. Cause if they're good, I mean, I think David's making burgers tonight. So if they're good, we'll have some tonight and some for a couple days. But if they're not, I'm just going to roast them up and sauce them, and then I'll throw it in the freezer. So
Don't
nothing.
you have
but-
a bunch of like cherry tomatoes though?
Yeah, okay, those are
Like a
amazing
ton?
if you roast them with garlic and oil and then use them as like a topper on chicken, or David just eats it with naan. You just kind of, like it's, or if you're on bread and you can do bread with some goat cheese and then put that roasted tomato on top. Oh, it's amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds,
Super good.
that sounds good.
So yeah, that's what I'll do with those. I just ate a bunch of them right here. That's what I'll do with those. If we aren't getting through them fast enough.
Mhm. Can you freeze them?
Gotcha.
No, once if they're roasted, so that roasting them gives them a couple more days of eating them, and then whatever's
Mhm.
left from there, I blend and freeze, and then I'll throw it in a spaghetti sauce or a soup or something.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the blender does a pretty good job with the skins. It's not usually an issue, especially once
Mhm.
they've been roasted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
not
that's a
bad.
lot of skin.
Well, and now that I have that Ninja, it's the food processor together. That thing is amazing. It's better than my Cuisinart food processor. Highly recommend. It was only $100 last Christmas, and it's amazing. It's got the blender, the food processor that's like medium size, and then the shake container.
Oh,
Yeah. 5
I
star.
have a Vitamix.
Yeah, what?
I have a Vitamix.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not willing to
Same
spend the money on
idea,
one of
just not
those.
$400.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
well, mine is
Mhm.
old now. Like we actually Scott ended up replacing the motor and the blade.
No, not the motor, the rheostat,
Oh, the rheostat.
the speed controller.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and the blade.
Yeah, the bearings on the blade locked up,
Bearings and the blade locked up.
but we've used the hell out of this over the last 10, 12 years.
I bet.
We have, but yes. So I mean, it was well worth the money. But it was a gift actually too. So
Yeah.
I think it was like it was like an anniversary gift from your parents or something. Like
No, my dad asked me what I wanted for,
Christmas.
no, for
Your birthday.
Christmas or birthday.
Yeah.
And I said, I want a shotgun. And he goes, I don't really want to buy you a gun. I'm like, okay, I want a Vitamix. So he bought me a Vitamix.
Okay.
Nice.
And
That
those
was a
things
good
come with,
alternative.
those
Yeah,
things come
really.
with an 8-year warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wow.
do.
So, I mean, it's a hell of a machine.
It
Yeah.
is for sure.
Yeah, but still, I thought that the cherry tomatoes would still be too much skin. I wasn't really thinking about roasting them.
Yeah.
When you said that, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, because then the skin kind of gets.
A little
Like-
soft. And that's what I do with even the regular sized tomatoes. I roast them first and then make them into sauce because it just kind of helps with any of the skin stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think and I use green tomatoes. I'll make them into a green, like a salsa verde too. So if there's extra green tomatoes left over, I just roast those with poblanos and garlic and onion and then blend. I don't blend it in the same way as the sauce. I do like a mix, right? So it just kind of integrates but doesn't pulverize it. And that makes a great green salsa to like braise meat in.
We love salsa verde.
Yeah, yeah.
A good
And-
spicy
yeah.
salsa verde. Yes.
Yeah, and then that's the nice thing, right? You can make it the salt content you want, you can make it the spice you want, depending on what peppers you use. Super easy and gets rid of, it's not wasting, the garden just doesn't go to waste.
Nice. Yeah, it looked like you
Alright,
had
ladies.
tomatillos.
Well, let's go make some dinner
All right.
or go to bed.
Bye, guys.
You guys are
Or
on
go to
the,
bed. I'm going to bed. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
all right, we'll see you all later.
All right. Bye.